It is time to come up with some sort of solution for back here for some side panels, a rear partition back there. The carpets, the OEM ones you can't find anywhere. They're like unicorns, so we're gonna make our own, or attempt to anyways. What's up, y'all? Welcome back. If you're new here, welcome to the video, welcome to the channel. Like I said, we're gonna start working on this trunk, getting these pieces figured out for the sides. You cannot find the OEM carpets anywhere, and when you do, they want a fortune for them, and it's kind of ridiculous. So we're gonna make our own, or attempt to at least anyways. We're gonna get in here, take some measurements, get some templates made. I'm not sure how to do the sides just yet. We're gonna figure that out as we go, as we always do. I'm thinking fiberglass maybe, because if you do like some kind of wood or like ABS plastic, something like that, it's gonna be kind of boxy and that's gonna look dumb anyways. So you gotta try to figure out how to make it to where it looks clean and like it's supposed to be in there and not just stuck in there like a box. And so I'm thinking maybe fiberglass is the better option for the sides. Like I said, we'll figure that out as we go, but let's get in here. We'll make some measurements for this back partition and we'll get that part knocked out first, and then we can move on from there. First things first, we're getting this rear strut bar out of here. I'm gonna take the ends off of this and we're gonna send, I've got a bunch of stuff going to powder coat, so we're gonna send this stuff off of here because I don't like this silver like prismatic look anymore. We're not really going for that vibe, so we're gonna do it the same color as the valve cover and get that looking nice and fresh. We'll do the front Cusco one as well, along with some other stuff to get Cerakoted, powder coated, all of that kind of jazz. So we'll put this over here. Now, as I was cleaning the garage here recently, I did find some old templates that I started a long time ago, and this is what I'm talking about. See how that looks just kind of boxy? I'm pretty sure that was supposed to go over here, maybe? No. Over here? Yes. I'm not really feeling that, and I just think fiberglass, trying to make some kind of mold or something like that might be a better option. Now, I know I said that I wanted to do that partition first, but now my mind's going crazy with this. So I'm gonna take some aluminum foil, and I'm gonna start wrapping this and seeing what I can come up with. The idea here is to use the aluminum foil to make the mold, or like to cover up the trunk area to put fiberglass, something like that, over it. This is the general idea. It does make a bit of a mold. You can kind of form it around what you need to, but this is just a start, so we'll see how it goes. I do have what I believe to be a really good idea for a product to do this with, to fix this carpet problem for the sides and the non-OEM availability. But first I need to find some OEM ones for a decent price, or someone let me borrow theirs so I can use them as a template and a guide to be able to figure this out and to be able to do what I want to do with it. But you know, that's the task in itself, is finding those OEM carpets and all that. But for now, like I said, we're doing this, we'll figure it out, and then we can move on. Hopefully, at some point in time in the future, this will be a long process. I can show you guys a product that I have in mind, and it will be a huge solution for the OEM carpet non-availability. Okay, I'm getting distracted by these two things here. I'll be here all day long. So that's a good start, but I'm gonna need some more time with these, try to figure out what I'm gonna do here, how I'm gonna make a mold, things of that nature. But let's get to this back panel like I wanted to do in the first place. So I'm just gonna start with some measurements, and then we'll use some like poster board, something like that to start with, and then we'll switch over to cardboard. We should be able to get this measured out properly with the paper first. So the poster board turned out to be a little bit too flimsy. Couldn't really like hang it up there, so we're going straight to cardboard. This is a little bit thicker than I would like to use, but it's all I got, so it is what it is at this point. We're gonna put that panel right there. That fits nicely. Now we'll work on the edges on both sides because it has like a fan out piece, and I want to kind of get it along this curvature right here for the sides to kind of like fill in everything there. So let me get some measuring and some more template paper, and we will do what we can with that. I've got this to where it fits right on the bottom, and then right up here, it's kind of hard to see because the lighting in here sucks. Hang on, let me get a light. This little lip right here, it kind of butts up against the lip on the bottom there. So that's good coverage in my opinion. And then, like I said, we're gonna work on these little corners back here, get all those curvatures. These wires coming through and over here as well is a little bit annoying, but we'll figure it out. I think I got these things at Michael's, but this is such a cool tool to have. It's like a little tape measure, but you can bend it and it stays where it's supposed to. And it really, really helps when you're making like a floor mold, stuff like that. I used this thing whenever I did these pieces back here. Whenever I was doing the floor and getting along the edges right through here. I've got a few of these, and it's just such a cool tool to have in the toolbox. All right, we got everything on the sides taken care of. Got a little cutout there for the wires to come through. Got a cutout on this side for the wires to come through. But now that I'm looking at it, the one thing I have a concern about is getting this piece in there in one piece, because, you know, it's easy to do it with cardboard because I can move it around and everywhere, but if it's one stiff panel, one stiff piece, it might be a little difficult to get in there. So I'm gonna have to ponder on what I'm gonna do about that. I have to leave some gaps because the wiring stuff has to come through, See, this is all part of the process that I'm a little worried about, like filming this video and like how it's gonna show up and how it's gonna like turn out, but this is all just like tedious stuff that we're working on and trying to figure things out as we go. But it is all part of the process of trying to figure this stuff out, get the measurements right, all that kind of stuff. So I'm not sure how entertaining it's gonna be, but we're learning, I guess. So yeah, I'm gonna tape these sides onto the middle piece, and that should be one whole piece there now. All right, we got a little bit of progress here. It fits in there. It's a little tight on the sides. Those wires and stuff that come through there make it a little bit difficult getting it back into place once it's all taped together. I put some like structural cardboard on the back of it, so it's pretty stiff back there. It's still pretty bendable, I guess, but it gets the point across, and it makes me understand what it takes to get one big piece in there. I do have to go in like at an angle and like get it into the sides and then slide it back into there. It takes a little bit of finagling to get it in there, but it's in there. Looks pretty good. I'm thinking that once I do the side pieces, I can maybe cut off some of this like corner stuff here and butt it up against the side. But here's my thoughts on that. So I think I'm going to have to fiberglass this piece. So we're going to make a piece that fits over the wheel well. We'll make that piece, and then on the sides, we're going to make a piece that goes like up and then like down across the top. And maybe once I go that way, I can butt it up against there. Let me get some cardboard cut out and I'll show you what I'm talking about, because right now it's in my head, and my head is a crazy place, and sometimes I can't get the words out to explain what I'm thinking. So once I get the cardboard cut out, I should be able to like visually show you what I'm thinking about. Okay, dang, a couple hours later, and this is what we got. We have both sides completed as far as the template is concerned. I think this looks pretty good. It took forever to measure it and get it around that tail light piece. These tail lights were so hard to get around because like the deeper in you go, the angle changes. So you had to keep like, I don't know, it was tough. But we got it around the tail light. Everything is up into there how I want it. Everything fits right up against the back of the trunk here. And so it goes up and around. I have that part exposed, like I said. Gonna probably do that in fiberglass, and then we'll cover it in carpet. But up into there, I think it looks super good. It like goes right up along the edge of the trunk up here. So it's butting up against that pretty easily, pretty straight. Back into there, had to put it at like an angle because it's kind of, if you can see it, it's kind of angled out right there. So had to make that piece, get it angled right. This side was obviously much, much easier. There's no big chongo hump in there, but now I got to figure out what kind of material I'm going to cut this out of. It has to be super thin, but I also want it to be rigid. So we're going to have to figure that out. I was wanting to do ABS, but I can't seem to find ABS plastic anywhere around here. I don't know about ordering sheets of that, so I'm going to try to maybe source materials from the local places and see what I can find. But yeah, we're just trucking right along. I feel like we're making good progress. It's been hours cutting cardboard, messing up cardboard, restarting. It's just, I just felt like it wasn't a lot to show you as far as like cutting and measuring, because it's just cutting cardboard, taking a tape measure, sticking tape in there. So not very entertaining really. So that's been the process for several hours. So that's where we're at right now. And I hope that this, once there's panels in there, I mean, obviously it's going to change the dimensions a little bit, but I hope it all fits in there like it should. I may cut it like, when I first cut it out, I may cut it a little bit extra, like an 1/8 inch or so, to have extra to like shave off, because you can always shave off, but you can't put stuff back really, at least not very easily anyway. But I'm liking how this looks. I started going through and putting tape onto this thing and trying to make it more of like a mold. So I'm going to put a bunch of layers of tape on here, try to stiffen it up a little bit. Right now it's obviously super flimsy just being aluminum foil, but if we get enough tape on there, I'm hoping that it will stiffen it up enough to be a mold. I think if I get it hard enough, I can put some like resin on top of it and harden it up that way and make it a mold in that form. So just trying to make the form, and we'll see where it gets us. in doing research and how to make this work the best way and make it look the cleanest and all that stuff, I've come across a few things that maybe a little more clean. I've came across this one thing that I need to do some more digging on, but it's like moldable carpet. So like it has a backing to it, and then you take a steamer and you heat it up, and then you can push it and mold it how you need it to mold. That would be super, super handy. Now, I don't know how that would work. I haven't done a lot of reading on it. I did a little bit, and you need to do a steamer because the steamer obviously gets it hot, but if you use a heat gun, it's going to burn the fibers of the carpet and mess it up and all that stuff. So the steamer gets it hot and you can mold it. So I'm going to do some more digging into that and figure out if I can get some of that, which I'm sure it's not going to be cheap, but neither is buying OEM carpets from someone for the back of the trunk. So it's going to be what it is either way we go. So alright, so I've been putting tape on this thing for quite a while, and I thought if I put like a stiffer tape on it, and the more tape I put on it, it would get stiffer, but it's not really, it's still super flexible. And so I don't know if I'm going to be able to like do what I thought I was going to be able to do with this. I'm thinking about trying some kind of casting or like molding material, Mod Podge, some kind of clay mold, something like that, paper mache if I want to go the cheaper route, which is, you know, it still works, just something that would get hard. So I'm going to keep this covered, obviously, but I don't think I'm going to be able to take this like off of here and use it as a mold because it's going to move a bunch. I might try to keep putting tape on here and see what I can get, but as of right now, it's just not doing what I wanted it to do. So I'm going to go ahead and end this off here. We got quite a bit done. I know it doesn't look like it, but this was actually hours and hours and hours getting this all cut out, measured, to get it in there as precise as I could get it. I need to figure out what I'm going to use for these panels. It has to be pretty thin, like I said, but also stiff enough to not like just be super flimsy. So I'm going to try to find some ABS plastic, some type of paneling like that to use in there. Once we get to the end, we're going to cover it all in carpet or whatever, but I don't want to do any of that until I get it like totally in there so I can trim and all that stuff without messing it all up. So templates are done though for the sides and the rear partition part. I am pretty happy with it. And once I figure out what to do about these things back here and getting that stuff hardened up and molded properly, then we can move on to that part. I'm probably going to fiberglass that, like I said, but I may, now that I've been sitting here looking at it, since it's just going to be a piece for the fender well, I may do those in carbon fiber. Who knows? I've been wanting to make some carbon fiber parts, so maybe that'll be a good task to do that on. From what I understand, it's almost the same process as fiberglass, so it's just some material and some resin, so hopefully it shouldn't be too difficult to learn. I've used fiberglass before, but it's been years ago, so it'll be a little bit of a refresher, but I think we're on the way to making this thing look a lot better. And so yeah, if you made it this far, thanks for watching. I do appreciate it very much as always. Drop a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think about all this stuff in the trunk here and where we're headed. Hopefully in the next video, I'll be able to have some paneling to put in here and all that to get it a little more complete. But yeah, catch you next time. Bye.